Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are taking notes again for section 5.2. So in section 5.2 we are talking about multiplication and division of rational expressions. Basically, we're multiplying fractions that are inclusive of binomials, trinomials, and whatnot. So don't get panicky, it's easy. So let's go back to a basic concept before I start this. If I were multiplying two fractions, say I'm multiplying 2/3 times 7/9 as an example, I would simply multiply across to get 2 times 7, which is 14, over 3 times 9, which is simply 27. Okay, if you can reduce it, you reduce it, so on. If I were dividing fractions of this type, say I had 2/3 and I was instead dividing it by 7/9, then I would use the order of keep. Notice that I mean this by keep. I'm going to change to multiplication and I'm going to flip that fraction. And so the value here obviously changes because this reduces to 3/1, which ends up giving us 6/7. Okay, so keep, change, flip. That brings you right back to multiplying fractions. So keep that in mind, on the back of your mind, and then we're going to talk about the rest of this lesson. So in example 1, they give you 5a minus 5b all over 10 times 2 over a squared minus b squared. Now we're in multiplication mode. This is fabulous because this means that all we have to do is extract, or factor, in this case, factor a minus b out and factor out the 5, obviously. The 2 and the 10, these reduce to 1 and 5, right? Because 2 goes into 2 once and into 10 5 times. And this reduces to a minus b times a plus b. Okay, and now we can simplify further. So the a minus b obviously will cancel. The 5s obviously cancel. And what are you left with in this question? Only the 1 and only the a plus b. So your final answer is simply 1 over a plus b. Alright. Example 2. In example 2, here we have 4w minus 20p over 2w squared minus 50p squared. This is times an ominous looking little trinomial called 2w squared plus 7wp minus 15p squared. And all of this is over 3w plus 9p. And so what we want to do here is we want to start factoring anything that we can factor. So I'm going to start up here, and everything that I factor will be in red. And I'm going to erase this just for the sake of you not looking at it and getting confused. Alright, so here we are. So if I extract the 4, I'm left with w minus 5p. That takes care of that line. On this line, if I extract the 2, I'm going to be left with w squared minus 25p squared. Okay. Let me do the bottom one, which is super easy. If I take out the 3, I'm left with w plus 3p. And now I'll deal with this one. Let's see if we can factor this with trial and error. So if I would do 2w, obviously the w will be here. This is 15p, so I'm thinking in this case, since it's 2 times 15 is 30, I'm thinking that this will be a negative 3p, and this has to be a positive 5p. That would work. Okay, so now I'm at this stage. I want you to consider this. This is going to seem kind of odd to you, where I'm going to look at this again, and I'm going to re-express this as 2 times 2 times w minus 5p. It's kind of an off-grid way of matching this up, because I can factor this further, and this can become, this right here is going to become 2 times w minus 5p, notice why I did that, times w plus 5p. And what happens here, and this will stay, this will stay. So these are kind of reduced even further. So now I'm going to start reducing everything that I can. So I'm going to use the black marker for that. So the 2 cancels with this 2. You can forget about this, by the way. That's gone. This is gone. This case, the 3w plus 3p, well, look at here. Is that something that I can cancel? So it is not. So w plus 3p will stay. The w plus 5p has to go with this one. Okay, I have, what else do I have? This will cancel with this, so that's gone. It looks like I have a 2 here and a 3 here, so this definitely will be 2 over 3, and it looks like what's left over is the 2w minus 3p and the w plus 3p. Alright, so that's our final answer. Alright. Let's take a look at example 3. Oh, that's right, the section was the short section. You guys were looking at me like, what just happened? Example 3, now we're dividing. So before you start to panic, I want you to consider, I'm just going to put RE for rational expressions. You have 8t to the third plus 27 over 9 minus 4t squared divided by 4t squared minus 6t plus 9, and all of this is over 2t squared minus t minus 3. So here's the first thing I would tell you. Don't do anything until you keep change flip. So we're going to, and I'm going to write the letters over this. Keep, change, flip. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to leave this alone, the 8t to the third plus 27 over 9 minus 4t squared. We're going to change this to multiplication, and we're going to flip this. So it's 2t squared minus t minus 3, and all of this is over 4t squared minus 6t plus 9. Okay? Now we're going to start to factor. This looks like a trinomial to me, because this is 2 cubed, t cubed, 3 cubed. So I'm going to re-express this as, let me just write it first as what it is. Okay, and this is obviously a perfect square, this piece here. So this has to be 3 minus 2t times 3 plus 2t. So I went ahead and factored that. This part here is not going to change, so this is times all of this nonsense, which is basically 4t squared minus 6t plus 9. And the 2t squared minus t minus 3, this could factor by trial and error. So I'll start with 2t and t. I have to think about that 3 and that 1 because obviously it's a plus minus situation. So I'm going to go with minus 3 initially and plus 1, and it does check out. So we're good there. Now this is the one that I left for last. So understand that this is this trinomial. So let me focus on just the top. This trinomial is really 2t plus 3 parentheses. This is becoming 4t squared minus 6t plus 9. Okay, so now this is taken care of. Okay, and now if you look across, this cancels with all of this. 2t minus 3, if I extract the negative, this would work. I also have a 2t plus 3, which if I reverse their order, this will also cancel with that. So if I take out a negative, these two will cancel, but I must take out a negative 1, okay, to flip it around. My final answer will be negative 1 parentheses t plus 1, or I can also express this as negative t minus 1. And that is it for section 5.2, very short section.